Gang of Eight, of which you're a member as the Intelligence Committee Chairman. I know that your committee, the Intelligence Committee, has access to what the Intelligence Committee does, even its most secret stuff. But the whistleblower says that...
There's nothing crooked about my vision. It's the only way of living. It's the only me that I can live with.
Woo! Alright, just got out of the driveway. I am driving to the location to shoot my music video for This Silence. Given the circumstances of COVID-19, I will be shooting it solo. So I'm going to be shooting myself. I have a couple of cool locations picked out. Some gravel roads, wanted some dirt roads, and I have a few props, and I have an iPad for another camera angle and for a time-lapse camera. So wish me luck. Here we go.
Of our kids as I climb amidst the mist and clouds and mountains.
I originally wanted to shoot the music video in Iowa, near my hometown there, but I actually was only able to get a few shots when I was there visiting. By the time it was time to officially shoot, COVID-19 had set in, and also I was almost 5 months pregnant. So I did incorporate some shots from Iowa, just landscape shots, but what I wound up doing was I Google Earthed some spots nearby Nashville that were flat, open fields, gravel roads, dirt roads. That's the aesthetic I wanted for the video.
Straight up and down fields and roads, I always got a lot of lost, lonely souls.
So I was able to find some really great landscapes nearby. I screenshot them on a Google Earth and headed north on 65. I originally wanted to do the video in a totally different way. I was aiming toward shooting some time lapses while moving forward very, very slowly. So mounting a camera on like a wagon or a bicycle, or even idling forward in a car down a road that was very straight, and then shooting time lapses including like sunsets, maybe sunrise, clouds moving. And I was going to project that on a green screen and have me running in place in front of the green screen. But I wound up having to be a little bit more resourceful than that, and that's okay. Well, that's a really good looking swimming pool there. Very, very nice. I'd love to take a dip in that guy. So I found a couple of roadside plazas that were abandoned, and in one of them there was this old hotel, and I'm really appreciative that when I timed my shooting there, I was not interrupted, although there was some hotel personnel that suddenly appeared next to me in horror movie fashion. But I was able to get my first couple shots and run out in the field next door, and wound up shooting quite a bit of the video on the other side of that field. And I walked through and ran through some muck right there. Was the muck in the field, like disgusting sewage waste muck. Got it all over my feet. I did not actually wind up doing as much barefoot shooting after this point as I thought I would, especially on the gravel roads. Okay, good. I got the an option for an introductory shotgun. And I'm gonna get out of here because the Indian people at this hotel are looking at me funny. So they're probably the owners and they're like, what is this crazy girl doing? I also got some muck on my toes. But, you know, it's all part of the art, isn't it? I've done a lot of videos where I have filmed myself. It's been a little easier in the past. There have been different cameras I've used where there are remote control aspects. So I can do zooming, I can press record, and things like that from far away. In this case, I had to keep the camera pretty close, press record and run away from it and run back to it, and just, you know, depend on the edit for those after. And I used my tripod as a boom arm to try to get sort of this jib style, crane style shooting. I cannot stress this enough. I was only able to do maybe 2 or 3 shots on the gravel and dirt roads before my feet started to ache. Again, I'm carrying a 5-month-old baby in my belly. And my feet and legs were aching after the shoot, after the whole shoot, but even at this point. So you'll see, started to cheat and wear my flip-flops in many of the shots. I found a creepy abandoned house, which I considered using for an opening shot as well. Again, the theme of the video and the lyric implies running away from something and the impending return someday. But, so I really did like the idea of maybe using this house, but I also felt actually a little strange about using it. The aesthetic of it wasn't exactly what I wanted. It's also probably private property. So I did actually duck my head in just inside the door and have a look, but I didn't go inside. I didn't want to be crazy and completely unsafe. And yeah, I wound up just using a couple quick shots in the video, but I did get this little quick shot of me going inside the front and then coming back out again. So here's a little deleted scene with the abandoned house that I found. Because I can't resist an abandoned house in the middle of the country. I mean, who can? Right? I did capture some time lapses, mainly with the iPad, and hilariously, half of them either wound up not really getting anything good, or like this one, it fell over. This was the first one I got. I had it propped in the back of my van and it just fell, and it gets this beautiful time lapse of the ceiling of the back of my van. This one turned out much more beautiful. The clouds were actually moving very slowly, so these are really slow time lapses. I just used some quick little snippets from them, but I love time lapses, and it goes with that original idea that I told you about. I was wanting to have these time lapses moving forward slowly, so that time is moving quickly behind me. But you know, again, I did the best I could and incorporated those ideas in a totally new and different way, and I really like the way it turned out. Yeah, here are a couple more examples of time lapses that didn't really capture anything. I did think about doing the whole video in black and white. I might actually do a monochromatic re-release of it later in the year. I really couldn't part with the beautiful colors of the fields and the blue skies, so I kept it in color. It was near this other location that I found, the perfect little wooded area with lots of vines and overgrowth where I could hide the piano. And I sort of all along had this idea where I would enter the woods after running away and find this abandoned piano and then start to play the song. I toyed with a couple of concepts before shooting. One of them was the possibility of doing the entire video in reverse. A couple of videos that I really like that have done that are, there's a Coldplay video, I think it's for the song Science, and there's a song by Alt J called Breeze Blocks that does that reverse plot. I really liked that, but ultimately in the edit, I felt like it took away from some of the energy of the plot and some of the beauty. It just looked a little bit awkward. So I ditched that idea. I did some more boom arm shots in here, trying to get the beautiful golden hour sunlight. I got lots of flaring and things like that with the camera that I thought was very pretty. So that was fun to experiment with too in this little wooded area. While I was shooting this bit in the woods, kind of getting takes front to back, leaving open the opportunity for me to incorporate the singing part all the way through, which I wound up just putting it at the end. A white truck came driving down the road next to me. I kept on shooting. My van was parked just outside of the woods in the road there with the back hatch open, but the person just drove to the end of the road where the abandoned house is, turned around, drove back, didn't stop, no questions asked. So escaped that one narrowly. Whew. Well, that was pretty crazy. Sorry, piano. That was pretty crazy. Me, myself, and I. Here's playback. Here's the piano. And here's me and my ouchies. I don't know if you can see this, but yeah, I've been like laying in the wilderness and sitting and crouching for, I don't know, maybe, ooh, that's nice. For about, I don't know how many takes I did. I think I did 5-6 takes maybe. But I think it was worth it. I think I got some really cool stuff, and I was able to use the tripod as like a selfie camera, like a boom arm. So I kind of got the essence of, you know, like a jib or a crane swinging around, and got some pretty sunlight through the trees shots and stuff like that. But now it's magic hour, almost. And I'm gonna try to get some time lapses and maybe drive one more location, and I'm gonna call it. My feet hurt, they've got thorns and rocks and muck all over them, and little dude's been really good through it all. He has been a trooper. I can't say I felt really good about all the running in the beginning because I didn't feel good about it. My stomach was hurting pretty bad, low down. So I think little man was feeling it, but yeah, just gonna get a couple more things, and then I think that's a wrap. So this was getting interrupted moment number 2. I guess I should expect these things. I ran all the way down this beautiful road that I found at this second location. And as soon as I got past that tree that you can see kind of all the way at the end of the road there, this red convertible started coming down the road. And there was an older couple joyriding in the countryside at sunset. And they encountered this crazy pregnant woman wearing this old, Depression era dress, running down a gravel road alone. And I had to warn them to please watch out for my tripod that was next to my car, so they didn't run it over. They seemed confused, but fairly understanding. Well, I made it almost to the tree. I guess it'll probably still cut. This was another beautiful place, location for recording. Proved to be challenging for two different reasons. One of them was the setting sun so low in the sky, making half of the shots unusable. So I had to be really careful because of the tripod and camera shadow, as you can see there. And the other challenge that I didn't really find out about until later was running through whatever this is. I think it's a wheat field. The plants gave me really, really bad rash on my legs that lasted about 48 hours or so. So that was fun. I do really like how some of these shots turned out though in this field. I think it really played an important role in the video, so it was worth all the itchies. And this is the funny part too. I was trying to look all majestic and drive and take my sunglasses off, but I think I drove into a pothole or something right here. Yeah. Anyway, I was driving on some pretty bumpy gravel roads out there.
I'll come back someday, this to you I promise.
I'll leave this whole behind the scenes video off with this beautiful sunset time lapse I got. So I got it on my phone camera and I got it on the iPad. And both were running at the same time. And I was set up in this area that seemed like this was a public road here to the right. There were properties off to the right, but it didn't look like it was a private road. And you'll see me not only walking down the road into the sunset, but also I wound up coming all the way back on foot and then driving up the road and going to this barn that was down the road and doing a little photo shoot with myself when out of nowhere at the end of this road, which I had driven to, it was marked private property. There was a gate. I didn't go any further. I just turned around and came back. When I was doing this little barn segment though, a tractor started coming out of the end of that road from the fields, moving pretty quickly. It was already past sunset, so it was kind of dark at this point. And it was apparent that they were not happy that I was there doing whatever I was doing. So I ran upon seeing this tractor coming barreling down the road. I ran back to my van and caught the incident both in this camera right here, which I didn't shut off, fell down out of where it was propped next to the van, and then I drive down the road to the other camera, still getting the time lapse, and you can see the tractor chasing me in my van down the road. That was my only narrowest escape. I always enjoy it when I have a little bit of adventure because it's inevitable in these shoots as I'm sort of spontaneously finding locations. But it did totally freak me out a little bit. Another horror story moment. Okay. Hi. I did actually get a chance to talk to the tractor driver who was riding with his son. He looked pretty upset, but I just told him that I was taking some video and pictures of the sunset, and he softened and we went our separate ways. So yeah, there's that. Freaking me out.
There's nothing crooked about my vision. It's the only way of living. It's the only me that I can live with. So excuse me, I've made my decision. You can fire me if you want to. I've got things to accomplish. Haste in the night, escape the fight. If this is gonna happen, it's gotta happen right now. I'll seal your comfort with a kiss so I'm not missed, and I'll dream of our kids as I climb amidst